I would say that I am, one of those children, you can say, whose parents have been very supportive. The guy was trying to touch me inappropriately during my this K2K trip. As you can imagine, it's like crossing whole of India alone for a girl. It still is a very challenging task. I encountered a few issues. I kind of felt that I was about to being molested.
Hello everyone, you're watching Crime Talks with me, Krishna Kaur, this Wednesday morning. So today we're going to talk to a woman who has broken stereotypes and traveled thousands of kilometers all by herself. So we have with us Miss Roshni Sharma, the first Indian woman to ride solo from Kanyakumari to Kashmir.
Hi everyone, myself Roshni.
So hello Miss Roshni. Traveling approximately 5,000 kilometers from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, did that get hectic for you?
Uh, well, yes, but I have traveled a lot. Before I did this ride from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, I did a lot of other rides in India because I'm actively into adventures. I like hiking, biking, traveling a lot. So I was quite prepared for this. And before actually going on to this trip, I made sure that I take all the factors into consideration. So, I gave a lot of attention to my food, to my diet, and to my fitness. So I did yoga, and I include lots of dry fruits in my diet. So those kind of things. And apart from that, uh, I talk to my other biker friends to gather as much information I can get. So those kind of preparation helped me a lot in order to make sure that this ride is not overwhelming for me.
Yeah, talking about the factors, like, did your parents support you in your decision? Like, you rode for the first time at the age of 16. So, like, were your parents happy with your decision?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would say that I am, one of those child or children, you can say, whose parents have been very supportive. So, in fact, my father is the one who taught me to ride motorcycle, and he has been always very encouraging and supportive, and as well as my mother. Having said that, during my this K2K trip, as you can imagine, it's like crossing whole of India alone for a girl. It still is a very challenging task. So my parents were a little bit apprehensive. They didn't say no, but they were like, maybe you can join a group, or you can, yeah, you can go through an adventure company or tour company that they organize these kind of group trips. But I was very clear that I want to do it alone. So at the end, they were fine with my ideas, and they were like, "Yeah, take care of yourself and keep calling us, every now and then in a day, and yeah, just be safe as much as possible."
Yes, all parents do worry for their child. Talking about that, when you were riding, did it happen? Did you encounter such situations in which a police person stopped you or maybe asked you about you or what are you doing? Any encounter, such encounter?
Well, thankfully not on this trip, not on Kanyakumari to Kashmir. However, I met a lot of people on my trip who were, very excited to know about my trip. So I would say those were not the negative kind of encounters, but rather, very positive, and people were very curious to see a girl alone riding a motorcycle and crossing the country. So they had a huge respect for me, and they were asking lots of questions like, why are you doing this, and are you not scared, and how do your parents allow you for this, those kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just said that these are the positive ones. So did you encounter any negative people, anyone?
Well, mm, to be honest, no, not on this trip. Yeah, I have faced some problems, some issues in my other rides. Like, once I did 2 weeks Kerala, through Kerala solo motorcycling. There I encountered a few um, issues where people are coming to me and approaching me, not in a very safe environment, or I kind of felt that I was about to being molested, those kind of things. That when I'm asking for people to give me the direction of the place, rather than telling me the right direction, they are sending me back to some other direction. Or if I'm entering a restaurant, then I felt, no, this is not the right place for me to have a food. Let's go back somewhere else and find a safe place for me. So so being a girl traveler, like solo traveler girl, these kind of things I'll have to keep in mind. I need to listen my instincts, and then accordingly I need to do the thing.
Yeah, so you just said that they sent you to the wrong direction. So how did you actually find out that these were not the right people and they are sending you to the wrong direction? How did you find out?
Yeah, well, the way they were talking, first of all, and the guy was trying to touch me inappropriately, and I could sense that. And in fact, when he told me about the direction, I somehow instinctively felt that he's not giving me the right advice. So, I didn't go in that direction. And at the same time, I was also following map on Google, and Google also telling me the opposite direction. So that's how, I could make my.
Yes, we women are really, blessed with this the sixth sense that we have, that we can, feel the vibe of the wrong person. So
That's
yeah. So how do you manage your finances? Like, how do you, manage,
yeah.
because you have this heavy gear of yours and all these stays in places. So how do you manage that?
Well, you know, like you'll have to keep a lot of things in mind, because if you're going on such a long trip, you cannot spend like without being mindful. So uh, when I was on K2K, I remember I think I spent around 1.5 lakhs, like Indian rupees, in which I bought a bike. So in terms of, I didn't go for new bike because newer bike were very expensive. So I went for a very good condition second bike. And apart from that, um, I was always making sure that I'm staying in good places, but at the same time reasonable places, not like going for 5-star hotels or whatever. And I was doing such like in India, it is different. We cannot go because we don't have camping culture. But like recently, I did my Europe trip here, so I kept my finance in under control by staying in hostels, or staying in camping, which is very. And apart from that, for food, I was going to supermarkets, so that I don't end up spending a lot in supermarket, in restaurants or whatever. So those kind of things you'll have to keep in mind.
Yes, talking from you, traveling from one end of the country to another, you would have faced many different cultures, religions. So, is
Yeah,
there something that you really liked a lot about certain culture, certain religion?
sure, sure. Well, I would say India is like most diverse country in the world. So yeah, we are lucky to have so much of diversity that every state has its own language, own food, own attire. So yeah, it was very overwhelming. And in my trip, what I did, I started from Kanyakumari. So at that time, I used to live to Kanyakumari from Bangalore, and then I took my trip towards north. So I crossed Kerala and Tamil Nadu, then Kerala, then Karnataka, then Madhya Pradesh, some more states. So yeah, it's very it's very overwhelming to see the diversity of our country. Yeah, and and apart from diversity, we have different kind of weather in every state. So because in Tamil Nadu it was very humid, and then you go to central India, then it is not so humid, not so hot, and then you go to north, it's very cold. I had to keep those kind of things in the mind, and I had to prepare, for that kind of situations also.
Yes, talking about biking,
Mm.
how did this idea strike your mind? Like, it's not very common that any girl would, at young age, decide to start biking. So, how did that idea strike your mind?
Well, I would say I think it was something from childhood. I have been a very, what do you say, very active and adventurous kind of kid. Sometimes I would scare my mom that I'll go to the roof and I will say that I'll jump from here or something like that. So my my mom would really scared. So yeah, I was that kind of kid. And yeah, and biking was something that always fascinated me a lot because seeing a girl on the bike it is very and it gives you that sense of freedom and independence. So I remember when I was in 10th standard and I was riding cycle at that time. So I always waited that when my father is going to, when I would hop on a bike and ride it myself. So yeah, so that's how. So it started more like, okay, I'm navigating through my city, through my town, going to tuitions and schools. But later I moved to Bangalore, and slowly I explored a lot of places. I met a lot of people, and then I realized that biking can be a whole lot of things. It is just not a way of commuting from one place to another. It's a different world.
Yes, you are an engineer by profession. So, how do you make time for biking?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm an engineer by profession, so you can imagine we have very limited number of holidays in a year. So, but at least in this profession, it is good that we get at least 2 days on a weekend. So, I would, try my best to utilize those days, those 2 days, especially when I was in Bangalore. There were a lot of places around Bangalore where you could go for 2 days riding, and sometimes I would extend my ride by 2 more days, so I'll get 4 days in a row. And likewise, I'll prepare in advance for a week or 2 weeks, and that's how I used to plan. So it can be done as long as you are, you can plan your holidays in advance. Yeah.
Yeah, so riding solo is a not at all an easy thing. So you just said that you had always been very adventurous. So
Yeah.
I just want to know that when you took this decision of riding from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, so did you have any sort of second thoughts of letting it be, or you were very adamant, no, I want to, so I will.
Yeah, well, yeah, my case was like I was very adamant, so I want to do it. There was no looking back, or there was no other option. And this idea came from actually, I had a friend, one of my best friends in Bangalore. He is very adventurous himself. So, casually one day I was talking to him that I want to go somewhere for like 10 or 15 days on my bike without any plans. And that's when he gave me this idea that why don't you do this kind of Kashmir? And there is no girl in India who has done it. And I was like very serious about it. And then I started doing all the preparation. However, there were few challenges like, when I shared with some of my friends, like, I want to do it alone. Or, they said things like, it's not so safe for in India. And, the route I took, I took the route from Jhansi and Gwalior to central India. And it's not considered so safe. So they were like, don't take this route, go by some other route. So those kind of things happened. But yeah, I didn't have any other, second thought that I want to do it or I don't want to do it, something like that. Yeah.
Yes, so that's a really nice thing. Now we have a record setter with us. Also, like because you have broken stereotypes by traveling alone, so do you kind of, motivate your fellow friends, your fellow mates also to do the same?
Well, yes. I mean, I have, like, luckily, I have lots of followers on Instagram and Facebook, and I keep posting about my rides that I do. I made a page about my K2K rides. I did that, and I had a lot of followers there too. And thankfully, there were a lot of coverage on media, in Times of India and on lots of online magazines, things like that. So, yeah, I feel very lucky in that sense that I can reach to so many people and inspire. At the same time, I get a lot of messages on Facebook and Instagram and other mediums. People are asking me to guide them to plans, something of sort. So yeah, I help them. I share my blogs with them, and yeah, and I feel good doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, so not just in India, you have been traveling across the world. Like you've recently done your trip in Europe. So,
Yeah.
just can you just tell us your experience on that? Like, how has it been different in terms of anything, in terms of people, religion to K2K? How has it been
Uh,
different?
yeah. Well, it's very different because you can imagine that India is a place like no other place on earth, in a good way and a bad way as well, I would say. Um, like in India, if you're going on road or if you're meeting a lot of other people, it's a different atmosphere altogether. And in Europe, it's different. So, for example, if I talk about in terms of traffic, here there are so many rules. Everything is so systematic, and in India, it's completely contrast. So it's much more safer here, but at the same time less adventurous, I would say. Uh, because in India, if you're on the road, it's a whole lot of adventurous game. And here, people are not more into themselves. They'll be curious to see a girl on bike, but they won't ask so many questions. But on the opposite side, if you're in India, people ask a lot of questions, which is good and sometimes too much as well. Yeah, that's the main difference, I would say.
Yeah, so what has like ever since you started biking, what is that
Mm.
one thing that it has changed in your life?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. I would say I think I have become more confident, because uh, when you do trips like these by yourself, then you know yourself a lot more than earlier you did, because you wouldn't have thought that you can do such a long trip or such a huge task all by yourself. So it makes you more confident. It prepares you for the worst times of life that can come in future, maybe. And yeah, and now I'm much more confident on road, and I don't have even second thought that I do it alone or not. And I'm prepared to go for any parts of the world and ride there.
Yeah, so not just on road, but in life also you feel liberated. Now you have that freedom and you have that confidence to do whatever you wish to. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
so now, so what are your upcoming trips? Like, where are you next planning to ride now?
Well, I just completed my Europe trip, which was like 30 days road trip. I covered 7 countries in that, and like immediately after I came from there, I'm already craving another trip. But yeah, unfortunately, we have COVID in place, so we can't do that. But yeah, next I want to, if you talk about Europe, next I want to do Norway and Ireland, and if you talk about Europe. So I want to do some of the Southeast Asian countries and then also South America, and to America, to North America. So I have all these items in my check. I will try to tick them one by one. Let's
Yeah, so
see.
I hope that you leave your mark on every continent and make India proud just like you have done now. Thank you.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you. It was nice sharing my story with you.
Coming to an end of this conversation, I hope that you all would have got some sort of motivation to not stop from any setback or challenge that comes your way. So that's all for the day. Have a nice day.